High tide, guys! High tide! High tide! High tide, guys! High tide! High tide!
You know, it's kind of fitting that immediately when I start my stream up, Hofstra immediately folds apart and now the game is tied. Literally, they were beating the piss out of Bama when I started the stream. 10 minutes later, here we are, and now Bama has clawed their way back into this thing. And they just took the lead. All right. Yep, all right. Thanks for showing up, Hofstra. Really appreciate it. We'll get started here very shortly. Alrighty then. No more wasting y'all's time. It's time to roll into this. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Welcome back to the chaos. Previously on Wisconsin Athletics. This played and has been playing eternally. So close, but so far, huh? Right? That's how it works. Man, oh man. First off, before we continue with this, look who that is. He's asleep as the athletics department of North Carolina. Figured I'd rub in the salt on them as well. Smokey's had a hard day today, so you can tell. Alrighty then. That's enough of that. Hey everybody, welcome. Welcome back. Finally get to wear this shirt for however long I get to wear it until we get eliminated. Yep, as you can tell, I am streaming for the matchup between Tennessee and Miami of Ohio. The longer-lasting Ohio is Ohio State. Shit the bed, of course, against TCU. So they will be sticking around at least for now. Hopefully that run will end today. We'll get into that and a whole lot more today. But good to see you guys in here. Been a while since I've streamed. Obviously, as you know, I've been very, very busy. Wasn't not able to do my Tardaria stream this past weekend as I was spending the entire weekend with the guys over in Nashville at the Slob Olympics. Video is going to be out about that hopefully sometime later on this weekend. It'll show you guys my experience there. I garnered some footage both for myself as well as other people, including Traveling Fool. Shout out to him, filming on his GoPro. I was not very discreet about what I meant when it came to the whole losing my dignity thing. But if you saw my Twitter post about it right before I went home, then you know what I'm talking about. But basically, I asked a girl out who had a wedding ring on her, and this is now the second time I've done that. So as you can tell, I'm really on a roll as of lately. Don't worry, we got the whole thing on film, so you'll get to see the initial reaction. Not only was I ballsy enough to ask that question, but I did it while she was in a group of about 15 other girls, and that's probably lowballing it. It was like a sorority or something. Yeah, I'm a real smart individual, as you can tell. Kind of like some of the teams that are playing in today's March Madness and yesterday's as well. We've had some really good games. Had some really, really good games. Funny enough, a lot of the top contenders, the top 3 seeds or so, most of them have done exactly what they were supposed to do. Obviously there are a few oddballs, a few bad eggs. Wisconsin, North Carolina, those are the two that immediately come to mind because they actually pissed so far down their leg that they actually lost. But there are a couple of other teams that wound up doing pretty bad. Alabama stuck in a dogfight with Hofstra. Duke really struggled against Siena. In fact, they were down big in the half, but then they clawed their way back in. The talent fee pulled through, and now they're set to go up against TCU in the second round. There were a couple of other teams that wound up crapping all over themselves. BYU really disappointed me. I had BYU going deep into this tournament, and, well, they crapped all over themselves in the first round, lost to Texas. Louisville was in a struggle fest for a while. They came out against South Florida. They won that game. Michigan State handled business, so did Gonzaga. Another one that really crapped the bed. But if you know anything about this program, this is the least bit of a surprise. Georgia. I had Georgia getting eliminated in the first round in every single one of my brackets, because if you know about Georgia, then you know that they don't give two or one even rat's ass about basketball. They don't. Their administration doesn't, and especially their fans don't. The latter half of them already have pivoted back to football, as I immediately predicted following the loss. They literally do not care about basketball. They don't. One sports school doing what one sports school does best. Hell, they beat Tennessee in baseball, and they're not even talking about that. They're not even talking about that. Hilarious. Kentucky came out in overtime a winner against Santa Clara. Mark Pope tried to blow it. He tried to piss it away like he did in the Sweet 16 last year. Now he's going to try to do it again, but it's looking like Kentucky's in a real tight position because they've got to go up against Iowa State, and they are beating the piss life out of Tennessee State right now. Not even a close competition there. There were quite a few teams that just went in there and did what they're supposed to. Arizona, Houston, both of them just wiped their opponent off the face of the earth. So there are a couple of other games coming on later on tonight, and I'll be watching those. And, and this is something I meant to address earlier, and I just never did. Last year I did a chaotic guide to March Madness before, and I never had any intent of actually going through and doing it this year. And the reason why is because you get a very, very small window. You get 2 days. You get 2 days to make the entire script, edit it, put it all together, and then get it on YouTube. And even then, there's games going on when the video is actually going down. And it's because of the first 4. There's not much I can do about that. But I will be making a video after March Madness is over, recapping everything that happened. Basically a college football chaos. But instead, it's college basketball chaos. What? Yeah, I know, crazy. Stunning revelation. Other news here, Nebraska. Nebraska has clinched, and this is funny, their best basketball season in program history. We can officially say that, as they have now advanced further in the tournament than they ever have before. And all they made it to was the second round. But yeah, congratulations to Nebraska fans. Hey, now you have something to look forward to. You have a little bit of happiness going for you there. How about that? I know. All right, going through some super chats here. Bates, been a member for 3 months of Tardaria. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Says, time for the ball of baskets. Couldn't have said it better myself. Dylan Philpott, appreciate you for the 5 man. Says, literally jump in after work to hear Squidtard talking about asking out married women. Look, I'm okay. There's not a lot going on in this brain. I think you all know that by now. So it didn't even occur to me that she had a ring on her finger. If I had known that, I obviously wouldn't have gone through and said anything, but I wasn't paying attention to that. It was so crazy down there in downtown Nashville. The last thing I was thinking about when I was asking out this girl was, I wonder if she's got a wedding ring on her finger. I better not ask her. I wasn't even thinking of that. So, yeah, lesson learned, or at least so I think, because this is now the second time I've made that mistake. Last time I did it was last year at the beach with my friends. Now, in fairness, I was pretty drunk, but it's still. I figured I would have learned my lesson. Scott Crawford with the 5. Thank you very much. Good buddy says, sorry, Squid, my Red Hawks are going to mop the floor with Tennessee. Yeah, I heard that plenty of times before. I'm not so sure what to think. This is pretty much a guaranteed, Squidtard's going to suffer day. Because here's the thing. If we win, then hooray. But all we're going to hear is, it's Miami of Ohio. They suck anyway. If we lose, then obviously it's a whole lot worse. We're going to get railed by every fan base known to man. Except North Carolina and Wisconsin, of course. But still. It wasn't pleasant. Well, it's not a pleasant result either way. I hope Nebraska gets 2 tournament wins. That means they beat Vandy. Vandy is just good in every sport now. It doesn't even really make sense, but they just suddenly out of nowhere became this all-sports school that's pretty good at everything right now. Football, of course, they had a 10-win season. They won their first game, beat McNeese in the tournament. They're set up to play Nebraska in the second round. If they go to the Sweet 16, safe to say there's going to be a pretty good sports year for Vandy, because I'm pretty confident in them in baseball, too. When are you never not confident in Vandy in baseball? Yes, I know they suck right now, but knowing Vandy, they're going to get together well before we even get close to the College World Series. Is there going to be a Target area stream tomorrow? Yes, there will. Duke nearly became cloud of the season, losing to Siena at half. Oh, they were close. That was bad. Really, really bad. But if there's anything you need to know for these like 1 seeds, the best thing that can happen to you is to have a scare like that early in the tournament, because now it hypes up your team and gets them red hot later on. Because I think Duke is going to prove that they're going to leave. They're basically going to leave right where they left off with Siena, and they're just going to start beating the piss out of TCU. I think that's what's going to happen to them. That you could say they're Vanderbilt different.
You might as well be in different leagues, not conferences, different leagues.
We'll have to play Virginia, though. Yeah, I mean, I have no expectations going into this. Maybe we come out of here a winner tonight, and then we can, lose to Virginia in the round of 32 and call it a successful run. Because, to be honest, 75% of this fan base already hates this basketball team because they've done nothing but piss down their leg against our rivals. Lost to Kentucky, lost to Vandy, lost to several other bad teams. Didn't do all that great in the tournament. Got beat by Vandy there as well. A lot of fans are already fed up with this team. But we'll see what it looks like tonight. Rick Barnes is going to be in a big heap of diarrhea if he winds up blowing this one as well. Yeah, North Carolina's was probably more embarrassing than Wisconsin. I know both of them had really bad losses, but North Carolina had a 19-point lead at one point, and they still pissed that one away. Absolutely unbelievable. Oh, Bates, thank you very much. Very generous $50 super chat. Thank you, man. Very much appreciated. Love you, bro. Says, thanks again for making that Syracuse vid, by the way. I couldn't stop laughing the whole way through. Yeah, thank you very much for watching, first of all. And yeah, no, I felt the need for making that one. Because what happened to Syracuse, basically, you've never, with Syracuse specifically, yes, injuries affect every single team. Injuries affected North Carolina in the tournament. They lost their best player early on in the season, and then from that point onward, they were a shell of what their team was supposed to look like. But in terms of Syracuse and the football team, I never expected losing that one player would have made that much of a difference to where they went from a, above average to average level ACC team to absolute diarrhea, probably the worst team in the Power 5. Literally, they quite literally went from an average ACC team to what is probably one of the worst teams in the FBS this year. It really tells you everything you need to know about how much of an impact Steve Angeli made. What are your opinions on the new Titans uniforms? Think they're good. I don't really have that much of a preference on them. I mean, they don't look bad, I'll say that. I think they're something to wear every once in a while. But, yeah. I haven't gotten that much of a look at them, so I really can't say that much. How do you think SLU versus Michigan is going to play out? Probably the same way I imagine most of these other things have played out. I think Michigan's going to roll over them. I don't think they're going to do what St. Louis did to Georgia. But I still think Michigan looked really good on offense. St. Louis is going to have a really hard time stopping them. But who knows? Oh, my God. We get it, dude. You got a fast car. You got a loud one, too. We get it. That's going to be all day, ain't it? At one point, Georgia versus St. Louis was 100-60. What a sad program. They did the same thing against Gonzaga last year, too. Came in, instant. There has not been one point in, ever since that Final Four they got, however long it was ago, there's not been one point ever since where they've had a tournament game where they've been at least somewhat competitive. I can't remember a time I saw Georgia in the tournament and competitive. Those things do not go together, at all. At all. It's like dog shit on pizza. One does not go with the other. Oh, yeah, because I thought you meant uniforms when you were talking about the Titans stuff. I misread that. I did see the new Titans logo, and I'm not necessarily a fan of it. They're doing this thing again, and you see this with everything nowadays. It's the concept of modernization, is what I call it. I made a video about it a long time ago, like last year over on Squidtard, actually. But it's the concept to where we have to simplify everything that we want to. They've done this with every single logo in the past. Hell, it's happened to several college football teams. It happened with Vandy. Vandy once had a much more, Vandy had the star and everything like that. Now it's just a V. They do this with everything now. And it's like, why? What's the point? They're trying to make everything as bland and dull as possible. Not a fan of it. Yeah, it's funny. We have like 100 different car shows in the state of Tennessee, but where else but this neighborhood to do that, right? He just, I should cut him some slack. He just wants to show the neighborhood that his car's cool. We get it. Trust me, we get it. The guy's not an asshole, I'll say that much. Like, obviously, since he's one of my neighbors, I met the guy. He's just got a loud car. The uniform reminds me of the Houston Cougars light blue alternates. Yeah, the uniforms are okay. I've got no problems with the uniforms. The logos, though, yeah, not exactly a big fan of it. Only because they're just trying to modernize it and make it look so much weaker than it actually is. The talent fee will beat the 32-win frauds. It's funny that they have one loss this entire season, and it's to freaking UMass. Good Lord, man. That's actually crazy. And I think it is crazy that they won all of their other games, and yet they're sitting here. They got in through the first 4. I mean, that's actually kind of crazy when you think about it. I just think it's a slap in the face to Houston football. The Titans had some great uniforms, but these feel like a build-a-team ones. A lot of them are gonna feel like that. That's the same way I thought of our alternate football uniforms, the new grays that we brought out, where we were like supporting the military. And that's a great idea on its own. But again, the uniforms themselves look like a 4th grader just took a crayon and just started drawing all over it. There's so much wild shit going on in there. It just looks weird. You got tire tracks. You've got like checkerboards. You got a whole bunch of hoo-ha that shouldn't belong on there. Yeah, because I know, I mean, Nate said it too, but I know they were trying to go back to the way that, the Houston Oilers looked. And, I get it. Return to tradition. But at the same time, man, at least do it right. There was really never any reason to change the logo other than to just make it look closer than what the Oilers were once before. Not a fan of it either way. Prayer Lord and Savior Keyshawn Henderson wins us a Heisman and Natty this year. Get a good look with that. Nathan Tucker, appreciate the 10, says, ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. It's time for March Madness. That continues today. Who will make the Final Four? Stay tuned in a few weeks. Let the madness begin. Well, hope none of you banked on Tennessee making the Final Four. How many more years are people going to buy into that? I've seen it so many times now. I saw Dalton Connect have Tennessee winning the title and beating Purdue along the way. No, he had Purdue losing in the first round. And a lot of Purdue fans are very, very, very salty about that. Yeah, don't remind me of that game. That game pissed me off so much. That gum foul ball every 2 seconds. We got some other games going on right now. Villanova, Utah State. turn into a good fight here. Utah State up by 7. I'm interested to see what in the world happens with Hofstra and Alabama. Because now, now they've taken the lead. They've got the momentum back. I think Bama's going to roll in the second half. But if Hofstra keeps the fight up, it could be intriguing. Could have another bracket buster. As if there are any brackets left to bust in the first place. Well, Shiesty's still perfect, according to what he said. That's the case. Good stuff. Good stuff. Keep it up. If you're the last person with a complete bracket, you better tell them. They owe you big money for that. Here, we passed 50, so let me go ahead and hit the squiddy. I need the exercise anyway. Been stuck editing and crap. I said right foot creep. Ooh. 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 And Bama's back. They already just scored, so now they're up by 4. So something tells me they're getting ready to run away with this. Just a hunch. By the way, to address the invisible elephant in the room, some of you have probably noticed this chair right here is a little bit different than the one I wore previous, and that is because it is a new chair. I did invest in a new gaming chair, or I guess just chair in general, since I don't really game all that much anyway. So, but yeah, no, I got a brand new chair. I talked about last time that some of the fabric was tearing apart on my last chair, and I think we got it fixed. But now it's my brother's chair. He actually just moved out, and he is he took my chair. He took my old chair. Nathan Tucker with the 5, appreciate it, says, by the way, you're one of the best conferences in the country, ACC last year, also different leagues, and finally, to win, you better not lose.
Might as well be in different leagues, not conferences.
To win, you gotta not lose.
Tell it like it is, Dabo. Tell it like it is. Yeah, the ACC is just always going to be just always going to find a way to embarrass themselves in anything, no matter what. Man, so if Kentucky somehow pulls off a miracle, and we pull off a miracle ourselves, basically 2 miracles need to happen, we could see Kentucky get in the Sweet 16. Wouldn't that be funny? Now that would be some comedy. Yeah, Hofstra's having a real hard time right now. 41-35, Bama is slowly but surely pulling away. It's football lasted, huh? It's just like the college football playoffs. Spend the first round whittling out all the frauds and pretenders, so that way we could get some much more intriguing matches going into the second round. That's where I think some of these top contenders are really going to have some struggles. Somebody mentioned it earlier, St. Louis could really give Michigan a fight if Michigan's offense is not 100%. I don't think Duke's going to be in any trouble, because I think they're going to stay red hot throughout most of this tournament anyway. Arizona's an unknown. We don't even know who's going to make it to face off against them. High Point could pull off something against Arkansas. Pig time. If you know anything about pig time, they've always found a way to piss themselves in the big leagues, so who knows. Anyway, game's about to begin here, so as per the usual, I'm going to go ahead and stand up so that I can walk around and pace around or yell in frustration when some BS happens. But yeah, we're getting ready here. So let me go ahead and switch to this real fast. And wablam. There you go. All right. Starting us off here. Tennessee's got ball. All the time in the world. Pisses away the ball. Miami, Ohio's got it. They're strutting down the field. Or the court. Expect for me to make that mistake a few times. A lot of tossing, hits up a 3, all the way from half court, and he's still freaking got it. Oh my goodness. 3-0, Miami, Ohio strikes first blood on the Volunteers. Tennessee's got ball again. We need to let Ament do something. Going up for a 2 and a big dunk right there. Tennessee now strikes their first shot, 3-2. It's a damn shame that SEC bias is creeping into other collegiate sports too. Wouldn't be surprised to see them get back into wrestling after all these years to try and buy dominance. I don't know what you're talking about in regards to that. Are you saying there's SEC bias in this tournament too? I'm not sure. I'm not sure I can grasp that one. Anyway, Miami Ohio just hit another 3, so now it's 6-2. We're really on a roll today, aren't we? Don't feel like guarding anything. Might as well just go ahead and let them score a crap ton, and we'll try our best to do so as well. We score another 2. It's now 6-4. This has shades of the Houston game right here, where all we do is just let them hit threes. They're going to try and go up for another one. No, he's going to cut in. He's going to throw it for a 2. Nailed it. 8-4. The Big 12 has called themselves a different league now. Oh, that's been a thing. Yeah, they called themselves back. Somebody sent me that back at the start of the season, the college football season, where they had a commercial and at the very end it said Big 12, a different league. Like, oh, that now you're just asking for it. Of all the conferences to call themselves a different league, yeah, you're different, all right. I'll give you credit for that. Fouls called on Miami of Ohio. Not sure for what. Let me go ahead and whip out the, or is that a turnover? Did they call him for a turnover or a foul? Turnover. Okay, gotcha. So Tennessee ball here. Cutting inside, going up for the throw, and double effort, got it. 8-6. Now cutting back in, Miami throws up a shot. Got it. Perfect on shots so far. 10-6. Volunteers now down by 4. Whistles are blown, man falls, and Tennessee's called for a foul. Rick Barnes not too happy about it at all. He looks very agitated. Looks like a guy flopped and they blew the whistle on him. Think that's going to be a trend today. It's a trend in every game, though. Let's be real. Here we go. We have Ohio going up for another 3. Whiffed that one. First shot they've missed. But he shot that one from way far back. I guess they're just trying to stay perfect in shots. Basically just airballing everything now. Back in. Here comes Tennessee. Rolling in for the throw. Gives it off. And missed the first throw. Whistles are called. Can we have Barnes emotes, please? Hell, if something happens here, I might have to make one. Yeah, he looked pretty agitated. He looked pretty agitated. Big mad. Super big mad, I'd have to say. And that was the first foul of today. Guess that passes down for sport, because that's what Heupel does, too, every time he's called for a penalty. We got our first free throws of the game. Felix Okapara going up for the free throws. Here's his first one, and got it. 3-point game here, 10-7. Already planning a get out video this early? Not yet. We'll have to see what it looks like at halftime. Okapara going up for his second free throw. Got that one too. 2 shots for Okapara. It's now 10-8. Ball sails out of bounds there. Looks like we're going to get another foul. Yeah, ball goes out of bounds. Looks like there was a bit of a push right there. Either way, Tennessee's got ball. It's out again. Out of bounds again. Another turnover. Tennessee's got 4 turnovers already. Ay. What are we doing? Thankfully, we still got ball here, as that's a turnover on Miami. Going up for the throw, and got it. There we go. Tie ball game, 10-10. There we go. There's Gillespie with the throw. He's pretty good. Sometimes he can be good. With the ball. Plenty of time. They're going up for another three from half court. Nailed it again. We can't stop the threes. They're shooting them from like Uzbekistan, and they're still hitting them with perfect efficiency. Something tells me that's going to last all night. It's just going to be rough to guard these guys. We got to hit some threes of our own. We haven't done that yet. Perfect shot for a three right here, and with that one, okay, great. It's always us that misses the threes. They can hit threes with perfection all the way from halfway across the court. Meanwhile, we've got a perfect three set up with nobody guarding him, and he still whiffs on it. Come on, man. Nathan Tucker, thank you for the 5. By the way, did you hear that Chuck Norris passed away? I sure did. Yeah, sure did. Wonder if the Grim Reaper is still alive, right? R.I.P. to a legend. He's just going to the next dimension. Yeah, somebody enabled aimbot for Miami's team. That would explain something right there. Quick inject another $20 million for the talent fee. Yeah, talent fee did not go into three-point shots. We know that for a fact. At this point, we might as well just start forcing fouls. We can hit those with perfect efficiency. We just can't. We just can't hit a three to save our lives. On top of that, we are. I mean, another thing is that this team overall is just kind of soft when it comes to coverage, and that could be a big problem in this one. It's going to be a big problem either way, but yeah, no, it could be a bad situation, all things to say. Chuck Norris didn't die, he just decided to retire from living. Excellent take right there. Utah State staying one step ahead here of Villanova. They're trying their hardest to come back, but it seems like they're just going blow for blow right now. Every time they do something, Utah State responds right back. Until they find a way to jump over the Aggies, they're just going to be stuck there in limbo, basically. Zach P13, thank you very much for the follow on Twitch, buddy. Much appreciated. Love your vids, dude. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for watching them. I love the fact that you do that. Yeah, he's simply going to the heavens because that's the place where he can find Bruce. He needs another match. All right, well, we gotta stop. We gotta stop him from being able just to score all these threes because right now we're basically not even trying to guard them, and that could be a big problem. Very big problem. All right, Nathan Tucker, thank you for the 5. Says lights are too bright for them every time, even though the game started. If it continues like this, they always shit the bed when it matters most. Pathetic. Shameful. I mean, we're only down by 3, but if this goes anything like the Houston game, they're just going to keep hitting threes, and we're not going to do anything in response other than just whiff our own. Because that's exactly how the Houston game went last year. And it's exactly how a lot of games went this year for us, too. We let them hit their threes with perfect efficiency, and then whenever we go up for threes, we just whiff them every time. But we've got ball here. We've got a chance to respond. Running back. Throws it back. Goes up for it. Oh, wow, what a perfectly hit 3 right there. Okay. Jacoby Gillespie. He doesn't hit him often, but when he does, it is very, very nice. He's a very hit or miss player. A lot of the past Tennessee players that we've gotten have been like that, to where they're very hit or miss. They'll have one game where they play like absolute dog water, and then the next they turn into the top contender. But that was a good start for Gillespie. And here goes Miami of Ohio back to shoot another three. With that one, they get ball. Shoots up another three. Misses that one. Right off the rim. Now it's Tennessee's ball. Throwing back out. Gillespie's got it. Runs in. Throws back. Shoots up a three. Missed it. Didn't even get close to the rim on that one. Ball rolls out before anybody can recover it, and it's going to be Miami ball. Waiting for Nate Ament to do something. He's kind of the same way. He's like the top player of this team, but when he's not playing good, nobody is. Tennessee player goes down. Whistles are blown. Tennessee is called for a foul. SMH shaking my head. Tennessee men's basketball is internally in the cuck chair. Well, at least we're not the only ones stuck there permanently. Going in for a two-pointer. Throws up a shot. Whiffed on it. We got our ball back. Now we're running back down. Trying to run in. Now he's going to give it back to Gillespie. Throws it back to Ament. Ament runs in. And guy falls down. Whistles are blown. That's a foul on Miami. Alrighty then. So Vols are going to get ball right here. Bishop Boswell's got it. Throws it all the way back. Amari Evans is in. Now Gillespie's got it again. Tries to run in. He is going to try to. Gives it back and throws up the three. Got it. There we go. First lead of the day. How about that? Was that I think that was Ament going up for the three. Good for him to finally contribute. Ball slips out of Miami's hands. Nearly gave it back to Tennessee. Hands it off. Throws up a three again. Bad whiff by Miami. I don't even know why you go for that shot. I mean, I get you're on a timer whenever you've got the ball, but I would have tried to give it to somebody else. You are not making that three. They've been trying to make these like contested three-point shots from half court. And I can't really blame them because most times they've actually made them with efficiency. Yeah, it's a shame Sienna. It's a shame they fell apart late in that game. They could have pulled off one of the greatest upsets of tournament history, and they just fell apart. Moreover, I think it's just Duke realized they had talent on the team, and they showed it to perfect efficiency. Here's Ament, gives it back, throws up Ament, and foul's called. We had a perfect lane there, and unfortunately, I think whistles are going to be blown, and it's going to be Miami ball. Miami played 4D chess, intentionally losing the conference tournament early so that they'd be fresh for the dance. Is that why Tennessee did it too? Because they lost pretty early as well. Lost to Vandy as soon as they got into it. Here we go, Miami, Ohio with the ball. Throws it to nobody in particular, and it rolls out of bounds. Hofstra's still doing their best to compete here, but they've got a big deficit to come down from now. Down by 9, and Bama's at the free throw line. Now they're up by 10. So I think they're cooked, but they've got some work to do. Miami just hit a 3-point or a 2-point shot. Another layup. Tosses it, gives it back, goes up for the 2. Got that one. Hooray. Evans with the 2. Tennessee retakes a 3-point lead. A lot of motion. Trying to run in. He's got an easy layup for a 2. Whistles are blown. And Tennessee looks to get the ball back. Good stuff. Talent fee went crazy. Yeah. Talent fee's built different when it works in your favor. Don't forget that. Look at the SEC pretending to be relevant at something other than baseball. It's kind of cute. I'm confused because didn't Florida win the national championship last year in basketball? So if anything, a lot of these other conferences are pretending to do that. Unless if that only applies when it's convenient. Because all I heard after Ohio State won the Natty was that the Big Ten was this premier conference. But Florida doesn't. It's just Florida's good. The rest of the conference sucks. Which one is it? By the way, Tennessee just nailed a 3-point shot. So now we're kind of on a roll here. Now we've got some momentum on our side. 11-2 run, up 21-15 now. Trying to run in for a 2. Goes up for it. Whiffs on that one too. It's Tennessee ball. Here goes Evans again. Shoots up a 2. And gets it. Contested layup there. And we just keep moving now. Miami, Ohio's going to blow a timeout here. That's their first one. As Tennessee now takes a 23-15 lead. Up by 8. On a 13-2 run. Lot of struggles right now. Lot of struggles. Can you imagine some people saying Indiana won the Natty because of the Big Ten's poverty? Yes. In fact, they're still doing it. Indiana, what they're doing with Indiana is basically what a lot of people did with the New England Patriots. And that's like, oh, your schedule sucks. Therefore, you basically just easy routed your way to the national championship. But let's not forget the fact they had to beat some really, really good teams to make it all the way to the Natty, including Oregon, Bama, Ohio State. Villanova finally got the edge on Utah State. They're not in the lead quite yet, but they tied up the ball game. Oh, now they've taken the lead. Just hit a layup. Now it's 33-31. They're on a roll right now. That's going to be a game coming down to the end. Meanwhile, Iowa State is basically, they can just throw out their backups or whoever they want to. They can throw out the fans for all they care. Tennessee State's down by so much, it doesn't matter. Iowa State looks to be one of the hottest teams right now. They play like that the rest of the tournament, and it's going to be ugly for Kentucky. Watching Florida football and then watching Florida basketball has been crazy. Like, damn, can we do something? Hey, if nothing else, at bare minimum, at least Florida won a championship last year in basketball, and they've got they're a 1 seed here too, right? Or am I getting that wrong? Florida's what it is? Florida's a 1 seed, I think. Yeah, they are. Yeah, so take for what you will. Florida's got a really good route to at least, at the bare minimum, get to the Sweet 16, if not further than that. Beat the piss out of Prairie View later tonight. Beat either Clemson or Iowa, whichever poor sap winds up battling against you. And then, if somehow Nebraska folds against Vandy, you get to beat them too. Yeah, I think that's probably the reason why Scott Strickland still has a job. He's credited for bringing Todd Golden here to Gainesville. Georgia got eviscerated, beat them boys so bad they might as well join the football team and getting arrested for speeding. No, but immediately after the game, most of their fans immediately pivoted to football exactly as expected, by the way. Speaking of Georgia football, did y'all see what Kirby Smart said about the alternate uniforms? Somebody was asking, I think it was in regards to the black uniforms Georgia used to wear, because the last time Georgia did alternate uniforms was all the way back in the COVID year in their bowl game against Cincinnati. And Kirby Smart basically came up because they were asking him, are we ever going to see those uniforms come back out this season or later down the line? He was like, well, I don't know. I mean, all we care about is winning the game. So how about this? If we get triple the subscribers on Glory, we might consider it. So what you're telling me is that Georgia students and Georgia fans are paying a ass load for tickets already. They're paying basically for a whopping majority of the football fund as it is. But now you're asking for even more money? Shameless. Absolutely shameless. Kirby Mouse needs to be ashamed of himself for that comment. Even if it was a joke comment, asking for more money when you're one of the richest universities across the country, just absolutely shameless. If you're a Georgia fan, you need to be pissed about that too, because that is absolutely shameless by Kirby Mouse. If we beat Virginia after this, we'll have to play the monster of Iowa State. More than likely, unless they find a way to shit the bed against Mark Pope and Kentucky, we get to beat them in the Sweet 16 again. Evans misses the easiest layup shot of all time. Miami of Ohio still got the ball. No scoring changes since the last time out. Now they're going up for a layup. Misses that one. Now Amen's got the ball. Gives it out. And turns the ball over. But a foul is blown. Have no idea who it's on. Whistles are blown, though. That's all I know. Looks like a foul's called on Miami. How about that? JP Estrella basically gave them the ball, and they got a whistles blown on him. Don't give Danny White ideas. Everything gives Danny White ideas. I don't know what to tell you. But hey, Vandy may be owning us in every sport right now, but you know what they don't have? An entertainment district. Tell me what other schools got one of those coming up. You can't name them. If Nebraska beats Vandy in basketball, would you clown them if that happens? I'll clown Vandy for losing to literally anybody. I clown them for losing to Alabama in football. So I wouldn't necessarily make a video on them for losing to Nebraska, but it would be pretty funny. Championship or not, all we have wanted Scott Strickland gone down. All of you wanted Scott Strickland gone down here for a while now. Nobody can blame you for that. I mean, basically, he struck gold by accident when he got Todd Golden. No pun intended there. But every other hire that he's made, and especially the executive decisions that he made in regards to Billy Napier, it really put him in some hot water. So I think he needs, as well as anybody else, to have a good football season this year. He needs for John Sumrall to be the coach that he, because the Florida fans, it was funny, Florida fans have basically got a 180 on on John Sumrall. Because when they first talked about bringing him on, they were like, oh great, it's just another Billy Napier. So he's going to suck. But then he brought in some of his assistants, including offensive coordinator from Georgia Tech. And they're like, oh, wait a minute. No, hold on a second. He might know a thing or two. In all seriousness, I think he does know a little bit more than Billy Napier. But it would be funny if he winds up just being another carbon copy of him. Watch Nebraska win the whole thing. Yeah, come on now. Come on now. Entertainment district, so a strip club. No, you got one part though, right? It is going to be like a strip, except it's not the strip that you're thinking of. It's more of like a, like a strip, like an entertainment strip where you're basically walking and there's a bunch of convenience stores and concessions and whatever the hell else they're going to do down there. I don't know what it's going to look like. All I know is that it's going to be another way for good old Danny White and company to make more money. If JMU doesn't have a good season this year, we may see Billy Napier out in 1 year. Well, he's not getting fired. He won't get fired from James Madison in 1 year. I can promise you that. But I don't think James Madison is going to have a good year. They got marshaled. If you look at what their team looks like now as compared to what it did 5 months ago, it's a completely different team. It might as well be a completely different team because there's nothing there that they had from last year. And they probably took the daggum pet goldfish too because they took everything else from that team. JMU's football culture is so strong that Billy Napier will win 11 games. No, not maybe in the distant future, but not this year. He won 11 at Louisiana, so never say never, but it ain't gonna happen this year. So Tennessee's got ball, going in for the shot, and got it. But I think a whistle was blown, so I don't. Oh no, it is gonna count. Great, 25-17, and Miami's called for another foul. So Gillespie goes up for a contested 2, gets it, and forces the foul. Good move there. He's going to be at the free throw line. Hits the first one. 9-point lead. Biggest lead we've had all day. Let's see what they can do in response. Because now they're going to need to. Now they're in a position where they need to respond. They're going to go for a 3 here. With that one, didn't even get close. That was Eon Elmer with the shot, and Elmer whiffed on that one. Tough break for Elmer's glue. Gillespie's got it. Gives it off again. Now gives it over. That's Boswell, so Boswell's back in. This is a lot of substitution. We're not used to seeing that with Rick Barnes. Goes up for a long 3. Whiffs on that one. Ball sails out. Oh, no. They're going to say it was in. Now Tennessee's got it again. Goes up for the 2 and gets it. Wow, what a shot right there. What a play by Estrella. Glad he's healthy again. 18-4 run for Tennessee. They are just running all over this team now. Goes up for another contested 3 from half court. Can't hit that one. Well, they're getting a little ice in their veins out of their system, I guess, because they were hitting those 3s from half court with pure efficiency early on, but now they can't. Easy 3 right here. Nailed it. There wasn't a man in sight of Boswell right there, so they hit another one. And now they're up by 14. 0 points in over 3 minutes for Miami of Ohio. Now they're going to try to go in for another 3. Looks like whistles are blown before the shot can be made. Disastrous last 5 minutes or so for Miami of Ohio. And pending we don't pull a North Carolina, Tennessee right now is running away with this thing. 7:20 left to go in the first half. And, up by 2 touchdowns, even though this ain't that sport. Nebraska will win a natty in the next 5 to 10 years in college football. See, you missed the stream, Nate, where we did hot takes and craziest takes in college football. That was for that stream. That ain't for here, because, Nebraska's... They're in no position right now to win a natty in the next 20 years. 12 minutes in, the Redhawks are already in panic mode. Which is funny because they came out like really strong on the 3s. Ice in their veins, they were hitting them from basically half court. And now they're trying to do the same thing, but now they feel the struggle And they're whiffing them every time. Hofstra is basically holding on by a thread. Because, Bama is taking control. But Hofstra's still in it, but they need to do what Villanova did and get like a streak going. Otherwise, they're more than likely cooked. Big cooked. Meanwhile, Michigan State beat North Dakota State so bad the Bison were hoping football season starts early. Oh, yeah, get used to that. It's going to be like that for a while. God, this is... How is this Iowa State game still on television? Because this is... I don't even know if you can show this on live TV. I swear, the more I watch this, the more it looks like an FCC violation. Because this is getting just ugly. Like, disturbing to watch. I thought we left the regular season. I thought we were past the point where we were just beating up on elementary schools. Currently, as I see these 4 games, Iowa State, Alabama, and Tennessee will win. Well, meanwhile, Utah State and Villanova are going back and competitive back and forth. It doesn't matter all that much. Whichever one wins is probably going to end up being a sacrificial lamb for Arizona. But at the bare minimum, they're trying. They're trying real hard. Got to give them credit where it's worth. There's only a couple of Cinderellas right now that are actually existing. Barely any, if that. The Commonwealth, obviously. Commonwealth, High Point, probably Texas. Texas is a Cinderella. What are we doing here? Those are the only ones right now. I mean, Texas A&M maybe. They beat St. Mary's early on in a low-scoring defensive brawl, but they got to go up against Houston. So good luck with that. Battered Aggie syndrome coming back in the clutch for March, right? Okay, after that break, we'll see if Miami of Ohio can get some sort of pulse back. They've got the ball. Tennessee doing a pretty good job playing defense now. But they might try and go for another 3, or they might start shooting 2s. Nope. They are. Okay, so here's a layup shot, and it's batted down. Going up for a second effort. Those up to 3, no. Changes his mind. Back at the 3. 1 second left on the shot clock. Gets it off, and nope. Not able to get it. Off the rim. But looks like Tennessee is called for a foul right there, so they might get their opportunity to finally score. Yep, going up at the free throw line. So they're finally going to get some points up here on the board. Peter Suter going in for the first throw and gets it. Reduces the deficit to 13. Still ways to go. Here he goes for the second one. And shoots it up. And nails it. All right, 31-19. Tennessee still up by a significant amount, up by 12. But, I mean, Cinderella trying to cut into this lead here. And I would go as far as to say Miami of Ohio is the Cinderella of Cinderella since, well, that's all people talk about. Now they're going up for a 2. Tennessee still got ball. Throws it back. Gillespie's got it. Looking for a lane. Going up for the 3. Off the rim. Tennessee still got the ball, though. Now they're going to go up for a 2. Layup shot. Still their ball. Gillespie now in. Cuts back out. Gives it off to... No, that was Ament. Now he gives it out to Gillespie, who's still way back. There's it back, taking their time, just basically trading back and forth. 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Now runs in, goes up for the 2. Can't make it. Goes off the rim, and now it's Miami's ball. Running in, here goes Suter again. Turns over the ball, gives it to Tennessee. Gillespie running in for a shot, and dunks it. Well, Gillespie gave it off to somebody else there. That was Dwayne Brown. When the backup's coming in and making that dunk play. And now that basically refutes the 2 points they just made a second ago. Hello, Smokey. They had a good thing going there for a second, but then they just pissed it away. Back down by what now? 14? Yeah. Back down by 14. Gets a free throw along with that off the foul. And now it's 15. Now they're down by 15 points. Not looking pleasant for them, I'll say that much. Hofstra's coming back. Well, they're trying to. 71-64. They're still in it, but they've got to find a way to cut within this deficit here. That's the only way. Because right now, Alabama is still scoring, and that's a problem. Now this is peak content. We got a kitty. Yeah, he makes a cameo every so often. He wanted to chill out here, go to sleep. Now he's waking up a bit. Say hello to the people, Smokey. All right, let me lay you back down. The best player in Tennessee State is now injured. Pack it up. The team as a whole has been injured forever since the game started. Miami Ohio got to go up to the free throw line. Now we got 5 fouls apiece. Cuts the lead within 14. But again, they've got to do something, go on some sort of run to cut within this deficit, because right now Tennessee is in full control of this thing. Gets the second free throw, though, and now it's 13 points. So here's Gillespie. He's been the main contributor so far. Gives it back to Boswell. Gives it back to Gillespie. Back out at the 3 line. Gives it off. Boswell again. Now cuts in. And another dunk! Bam! But did they call Tennessee for a foul there? I think they did, so I don't know if it's going to count. Looks like whistles are blown right there as Brown went up for the dunk. I guess he just didn't make it in. I'm not really sure what happened there, but it's going to be a turnover, and now Miami's got the ball. Running in, trying to go out for the layup. Contested layup, not able to make it. Turns the ball over. Now Ament's got it. Ament rolling past. Gives it out to Gillespie again. It goes up from a 3 from half court. Gets it! Bam! How about that? How about that? We're finally making our threes. Who would have thunk it? Gillespie's having one of those nights. I guess, again, I said on and off. He's on right now. Miami Ohio goes up for another 3. Way back. Can't make it. Going up again for a 3. Can't make it again. This one's overshot. Last one was undershot. This one overshot. Doesn't even get close. Ball rolls out of bounds. And Tennessee maintains a 16-point lead here over the Cinderella squad. Watch both Miamis lose today. Well, the first one's doing a great job of doing such a fate. Boswell's got ball for the Volunteers as they get the ball right back again. Now here's Estrella going up for a layup. Can't make it. Looked like it was going to go in, but it went right back out. Now they're running past the court. Going up for another layup. Got that one. Redhawks finally score something, but they're still down by 15. They've got to go on a big run in order to get back in this thing. Because right now Tennessee's taking full control. And the worst part about it for the Redhawks is that now they've got to find a way to score that isn't shooting up threes from all the way past half court. The only quote-unquote exciting white on this squad has been J.P. Estrella. That's the only guy I noticed there that's actually white. See you, Smokey. Oh, sorry, buddy. Smokey needs to go take a dump or something, so he's skedaddling on out of here. I'll go to limb and say Purdue once again loses to a team nobody's ever heard of when they lose to Queens University. Now that would be comical. It would be. I would get a chuckle or two out of that. But they need it, man. They need it. You got to cut them some slack. Basketball program. The basketball program needs some love. Their football team is having a hard time, man. I don't. Nobody's even heard of their baseball program, so. Tennessee State trying to minimize the damage. There's nothing in the world that they could do to try and to even get close to minimizing what's happened to them. Give them credit for at least showing up, but they were a placeholder for Iowa State getting into at least the second round because this is a buzzsaw that they ran into. There was nothing they could have done. If they play like this next week, there's going to be calls to fire Mark Pope. That's how bad it's going to be. There's going to be calls to fire Mark Pope again. I say again because, well, you know why. I'm just ready to see because right now, really, I mean, Villanova and Utah State, they're at halftime right now. Villanova got a 2-point lead, so they've managed to claw their way back into this thing. But Hofstra, they've got to go on a run here like now, otherwise it's practically over. Because there's less than 4 minutes in this thing, and they're down by now 8. If they let Bama start putting up threes, it's basically over. Like if Bama gets hot at any point in these next 3 or so minutes, they're basically cooked. So they need a run, otherwise it's over. It's big over. Are they at the free throw line, or is that am I just tripping? No, they're not. But Bama does have ball here. Again, less than 4 minutes to go. 3:45, going in for a shot. Change his mind. They're taking their sweet time. I know that for a fact. Now they're going to go up for a 3, and he nailed it. Yeah, it's over. now I can confidently say it's over. That makes the deficit 11 for Hofstra, and it gives all the momentum to Bama. That's the last thing they needed, so they can probably just go ahead and call it. Fat lady sang. Meanwhile, over here go Tennessee with the ball. Whistles are blown before the play can even begin. I think Red Hawks just got called for another foul. That's their 7th one of the half, by the way. They sure are foul merchants today. So now Tennessee going to get some free points here on the free throw line. That is if they make them, obviously. Going for the throw. Makes the first one. Hooray. Who is this? Is this? Yeah, that's Brown again. Or no, that's no. Oh, that's Ethan Berg coming in. Okay, yeah. The first we've seen of him, and he's immediately on the free throw line. Misses the second one, unfortunately. Lead will remain 15. Not the longest. I think the longest was 6. I think our biggest lead was 16. Trying to go out for a shot. Nope, going to change his mind. Fumbles it. Pisses it away over to Gillespie. He's got a lane. Gives it back. Here goes Gillespie. Shoots a 3. Gets it. There's the biggest lead of the night right there. Now it's a 19. What is it now? 18. No, 18-point lead in favor of the Volunteers. Miami, Ohio burns their second timeout. Tennessee is running away with this thing right now. And you can already see it. You can already see it. Miami, Ohio was never any good. They're a terrible team. Tennessee just got lucky. They got to play them. Literally one of the worst teams of all time to ever hit the tournament. Man. Yeah, it's not looking good. It's not looking good for him. Not looking good at all for good old Miami of Ohio. I don't really know how they're going to come back from this one. They've got to do something, though. They're cutting in, trying to get a layup shot. Misses that one, but gets the foul called on him, though. Miami, Ohio is the worst team ever in the history of history. They'd get beat 100-0 by any other team. Tennessee still sucks super hard. Yep, feel like I covered all the bases there. Yeah. Well, Bama's running away with it now. Up 79-66, 2 minutes left to go. Bama's going to hold on. Come back from behind, beat down Hofstra. Go on to the second round. Good for them. And Iowa State officially moves on as well. I think we all knew that, but yeah, they'll move on. Play Kentucky on Sunday in St. Louis. Hope Kentucky can survive so that we have the privilege of beating their ass again in the Sweet 16. Tennessee makes another 2-point shot on a layup. Now it's a 20-point lead in favor of the Volunteers. Disastrous run right now. Absolutely disastrous second part of this first half for the Red Hawks. They started so strong too. Looked like they might have had some potential, and then just Tennessee just started beating the piss out of them. They did force the foul on the Volunteers, though, so they're going to get a shot at the free throw line. Makes the first one. Now it's only 19-point lead now for Tennessee. What's funny is that the crowd that would try to downplay this win is going to get checked by a mid-major crowd. Miami, Ohio just wasn't tested at all. What did y'all expect? I mean, they were tested. They just weren't ready. There's a big difference there. Because you can go multiple games playing these types of teams and just never get yourself ready for it. All part of the talent fee. What else can I say? Going up for another layup. Looks like we're not going to get that one. No luck there. And it's going to be a turnover in favor of the Red Hawks. That was Carey trying to go up for the shot there. First we've seen of him all day. Not able to get that. Very contested. We've got our backups basically playing in now. Doing some heavy rotation. Going up for the three. Got it. Cuts within that lead. Makes it now what? 15? 15-point lead in favor of the Volunteers still. They might say the MAC is a conference of doctors and lawyers. As if it isn't already. Are we trying to turn it into the new Ivy League? There we go. 2-point shot right there. Complete. 17-point lead in favor of the Vols. They're just shooting up threes now. They're down so far behind that they're just trying to desperately shoot threes, and more often than not, they're not even getting close to making them. 9 of 25 on field goals for Miami. Ay. Taking a sweet time, just tossing it around. Now here goes Gillespie again. 3-point shot, got it. Gillespie is having himself an absolute day. He's having like a Jalen Hyatt versus Alabama type of performance right now because he is just doing whatever he wants to this poor defense. And Miami, Ohio will now burn another timeout. It's 48-28 Volunteers on top. Gonna be honest, don't really know you're coming back from this one. It's gonna be a bit, just a teeny weeny bit tough. $19-point lead for the Crimson Tide. Yeah. It's almost like the current system is designed to protect power conference teams. Crazy. Stunning revelation. It's almost like the teams that aren't power conference teams are not very good. Oh, what? Huh? I mean, you can't say we're not giving the little guys a chance at the very least. It's like the 12-team playoff. People complain never ending about how the G5 teams were never even given a chance. And then they'd go in and get the absolute ass cheeks beat out of them. Just, No, it's going to be like this. They get a whole lot of this. And then people complain, oh, what? These games suck. They aren't even competitive. It's the never-ending cycle of the playoffs and postseason in general. The little guys get in. The little guys get their ass beat. People complain that they're not even competitive, and then it's just a never-ending cycle. Almost at the end of the half here. Easy 2-point shot layup right there for the Red Hawks. Tennessee turns the ball over again. Now I think we're just going to maintain that ball until the end of the half. 9 seconds left to go. 48-32, maintain a 16-point lead. And we're going to shoot up a 3 for funsies. And we get it! Wow, how about that? We threw up a shot from half court. Ethan Berg put an exclamation point on this half as Tennessee goes into the locker room up by 19 now over the Cinderella squad. Tough shit tough is what I could say to y'all. You tried your hardest, but what can I say? Different league. That's all there really is to it.
Might as well be in different leagues, not conferences, different leagues.
Literally. Literally might as well be in different leagues. Ugh. All right, well. Yeah, no, you're trying to mirror. Oh, wait a minute. Now, 19-point lead. Hold on. Hopefully we can maintain that. Not everybody is fortunate enough to maintain a 19-point lead. Just saying. Ay. 19-point lead at the half. Did you see what Villanova head coach said at half? No. But how bad was it? Because they were up last I checked, so I might check that out. That was hilarious. Ethan Berg just hitting the absolute dime right there at the very end. Just to add a little funny to the end there. We need to keep rolling. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty confident about it. I mean, we're not North Carolina, so... I'm not, not everybody blows a 19-point lead. Tennessee winning in this economy? Yeah, baffling. Trust me. I'm right there with you on that one. I expected this to be as much of a dogfight as anybody else would have expected. But again, you don't win in this situation because if we were in a dogfight, we suck. If we were in a dogfight, we were blowing them out like we are now. We still suck because turns out Miami of Ohio just sucks even more. There's no winning in this situation. I did see the news about the new targeting rule though. First half offense doesn't have a first half carryover suspension, and I mean to be honest, I think that's how it should be. Because it's a new week and it's not really like I get it, and in some cases because targeting itself is a very odd rule. Not because the rule itself is bad or anything like that. I mean, I get the rule, but again, it's all about contact, and ref ball basically is the only thing that determines what that contact looks like. And sometimes they have different definitions of what that looks like. So I think for a first-time offender, it's only fair. Keep him out the rest of the game. Let him back in into the next one. Unless then you get it. And very rarely do you have a player that gets called for 2 targeting penalties in a single season. And not like it's impossible, but it's possible. Like you do it once, like that's an accident. Because everybody, more often than not, a lot of teams have a lot of players that have accidents. Like targeting every once in a season. But if you do it twice or 3 times, or hell, even more than that in a single season, that ain't an accident no more. Well, yeah, this is a bad. I mean, this year and last year have not been the most pleasant year for Cinderellas. I'll say that much. You've had a couple of teams outside of like the 11 seeds and beyond. Like the only above 11 seed that actually made it farther than the first round so far has been High Point. That's it. None of the others have been even like some of them have been close, but not nearly enough. Like Kennesaw State put up a really good fight, but they wound up losing. So did Santa Clara, but they were a 10 seed. So, oh yeah, Virginia. Virginia had a tough dogfight there with Wright State. It was another one of those battles to where it looked like anybody could win up until like the final 5 minutes, and then Virginia did what Bama did with Hofstra and like fought with them all the way until the end, up until like the final 5 or so minutes, and then that's when the other team started to pull away. I'm intrigued with the Commonwealth. Do you think they'll put up a fight against Illinois? Who knows? Anything can happen. That's why it's March Madness. Yeah, St. Louis, that one really doesn't count because it was against an 8 seed, plus it was Georgia. Like, I mean, hell, you put up Howard against Georgia. Howard would win that. Georgia knows absolutely nothing about competing in these tournaments. Jaguar Gator 9 live stream reaction to the High Point University school win was amazing. Yeah, I'll have to go take a look at that. Is he a High Point fan? To some degree. It won't stop a petty FCS team from sending the house head first in a game against a Power 4 team. Yeah, you're gonna have people like that. You're gonna have teams like that actually come out and just start playing all guns a-blazing. I mean, High Point is one of them. Took Wisconsin all the way down to the wire. And, I mean, the cool thing about these 11 seeds is it doesn't necessarily mean, like, for teams like Texas, VCU, the good old Commonwealth, like, they're in, and it's not a guarantee that the other team is going to win that game. They could put up a really, really good fight. Gonzaga especially might be in a little bit of trouble against Texas, because they looked pretty good against BYU. Yeah, I haven't even been paying attention to my bracket, in all honesty. I made a couple of brackets, and I haven't even checked on them. I'm sure both of them are just as as any others that I've made. But I mean, I might take a look just to see what they look like and how bad they are. I got a couple of them right. I actually picked, it's funny enough, I actually picked High Point to beat Wisconsin, so I got that pick right. But yeah, no, I mean, I picked Troy to upset Nebraska, and that obviously fell through. McNeese, I picked them to beat Vandy. That fell through. A couple of these others are pretty good, though. A lot of these others I picked correctly. But it wasn't that hard to determine. Mine got ruined on the first game. Feel that one. Half of the people's brackets got ruined though, because half the people picked Ohio State for whatever reason. Why they did it, I don't know, but they just did it. Yeah, shout out to Long Island University. They try real hard. They try real hard for that 1 second that they were competitive. Villanova's, they're on a big run right now. The Wildcats are starting to run away with this thing. They were down big against Utah State, and now they've come all the way back, and not just that, but now they're up by 10. Utah State's in some big trouble right now. They better get it together. They're never going to hear the end of it if they wound up completing the choke. Man, oh man, oh man. Feel bad for the Miami of Ohio fans, though, because a lot of the haters in regards to that poor team has been heavily vindicated. Because, they came out, they were competitive for a solid, 5 minutes, and now they've just fallen apart. Pending Tennessee doesn't North Carolina this thing. I mean, this has been a bad run for what was thought to be like a generational team. And that's what people were calling them. They were like, oh, they're going to go they went undefeated in the regular season. This is a team of destiny right here. Come on. Keep it real. But they went 31-0, Squidtard. Name me another team that went 31-0. I guess I can't. I'll give you that much. They went 31-0, Squidtard. You need to show them some love. Well, we're showing them love all right. We'll give you that one. Can you imagine a 16 seed makes the title game and wins it? Nope. Nope. I cannot. Because that doesn't exist. The farthest a team like that can make it is the Sweet 16 if they're lucky. Not every team they play is going to just not show up. It's a talent fee thing. That's all there is to it. Even with NIL and the transfer portal and all the other hoo-ha, definitely can't separate what is the facts there. And the facts are there's still a talent fee. I mean, you should know that all too well with my team. Miami of Ohio is a water polo school anyway. Very true. Can't deny that. Look at where they are in the other sports. Sometimes, what else can you say? It's the MAC. The MAC is just not built for any of these big name sports. Sometimes they are. More often than not, though, they're just the chaos conference that you can watch at a random part during the day and be like, oh damn. This random team is having the most random game against this other team, and they're making it the most entertaining thing you've ever seen before. I mean, who knows? I mean, literally every time. You can have this team match up against Western Michigan on a random Monday, and it'll be the most entertaining thing you've seen all week. That's why the MAC exists. I am genuinely surprised, though, that Tennessee came out and played as good as they are right now. Shout out to Jacoby Gillespie, if nothing else. He's having himself a hell of a night, and I don't understand why. I mean, again, he's one of these guys who you can either rely on to be the carrying factor or the one that just tanks the entire thing. And right now, he's being the one that's just kicking everybody's ass. I haven't looked at the Score Act enough to have a determining factor on whether or not that's going to make an impact to the talent fee. I really don't, in all honesty. But it's something that I'm probably going to touch on a whole lot more in my Spring Chaos video. Because remember, I've got to make a College Football Chaos Spring Edition where I go over like some of the spring scrimmages, some of the stuff there, and more of the like niche things that people go over in the offseason. Like I did it last year, talking about the spring games, NIL, transfer portal, Nico's, escape off to UCLA, the whole ordeal. And so I get to do a whole lot more of that this season. And that's going to be pretty entertaining. I found a timeline where in 2021, Norfolk State won the title. Fantastic timeline there. Wouldn't that have been something? Still better than if Auburn was here. Yeah, people are going to argue that Auburn should have been here as if that would have made much of a difference. It really wouldn't have. All it would have done was made the anti-SEC people cry more about fake SEC bias. That's all it would have done. Actually, I'm curious because I got to find this out myself. How many SEC teams are in March Madness? The SEC has 10 teams on the field of 68. 10's a pretty big number. Won't deny that. How many Big Ten teams are there? The Big Ten is 9. I'm tired of this Big Ten bias. The Big 12. The Big 12 is 8. So just one less than the Big Ten. The ACC. The ACC also has 8. Also, this is something that needs to be addressed too. Where in the world is Notre Dame? Did they opt out of the tournament too? I guess they did. That's the second time now in this year that they've opted out. Notre Dame's just not built for the postseason, man. What else is there to say? Yeah, Auburn was terrible this year. I'm not certain they would have gotten past SMU either. I kind of want to see what the NIT bracket looks like. Did they even make it to that? Where these embedded ads? Shut up. Hush. I'm trying to find out if Notre Dame made it to the bracket. Damn. They didn't even do that. They didn't even make it to the NIT. Imagine being so bad, so unfathomably bad at basketball that you don't even make it to the NIT. That's actually extremely depressing. Like, that's not even just ass. That's ass. That's donkey ass. Double ass. I'd go as far as to say is that triple ass. Asses stacked on top of each other. Like straight up. Like, asses stacked on top of each other that it's a giant cake. Like the biggest cake you dadgum ever seen. SMH shaking my head. At least they're in a conference. Got to give them credit where it's worth. All right, real quick break. I'll be back in like 1 second. I got to go grab another drink and potentially go kidnap Scooter. I'll be right back. All right, we're back in business. To catch you up in case you were missing the action earlier, Tennessee beating the ever-loving piss out of Miami of Ohio. Not even a competition here. I'll say this, I mean, people are going to talk about the fact that Miami, Ohio didn't even belong here, and I think they did. I think they deserved a fair shot, which is why they were in the first four. And they won a game there. You got to give them credit where it's worth. Also, I didn't even kidnap Scooter. He just showed up, straight up. Hey, chill. Relax. That's not nice. Look, just say hello to the people. You say hi to the people? Say hi. There you go. But yeah, no, the story around them, I mean, winning all of your regular season games, no matter which conference you're in, is an impressive feat. You got to give them credit where it's worth in regards to that, but they were never a contender, and anybody saying that they were is extremely delusional. I just hate that they're going to win all... I mean, they won the regular season title for the MAC, so you got to give them credit where it's worth there, but yeah, I just hate that they're not going to come with any official hardware. That does suck. But hey, could be worse. At least you're in. At least you made it. A lot of teams can't say that. And is not showing up and then just getting beat outright worse than blowing a 19-point lead and losing that way? I don't know, asking for a friend. I'm saying this as if we don't have a 19-point lead ourselves. So if Florida wins the Natty, is Todd Golden as accomplished as Kirby Smart? I don't know about that. I don't think he's been coaching for long enough to get to that level. But he'll be close. 2 titles is a really good accomplishment, especially in basketball, to where instead of the usual 4 teams that Kirby Mouse had to deal with, he instead had he had to run the gauntlet twice in a row. But then again, if anybody could do that, it's Florida. They've done it before. Ran the gauntlet twice in a row. Sure would be a shame if Tennessee choked a 19-point lead. That's probably never happened before. And of course not. Of course not. What kind of shit stain over in the East would ever do anything like that? Anyway, let's see if we can maintain our 19-point lead. Tennessee to get the ball here to start the second half. Gillespie's got it. Gives it off. Man moving in motion. Still moving. Trying to cut inside. Gives it off. Now here's Nate Ament. Gives it off again. Oh, great turnover. Great play right there on the turnover there by Miami, Ohio. They got a lane. Ball rolls out. And I think we are called for a foul as the ball gets pushed out. No, nobody's called for a foul, but the ball is turned over. And they're going to give it to Tennessee. So that's nice. Thank you very much, ref ball. Here we go. Estrella gives it off to Gillespie. Trying to find a lane. Nothing given. Now gives it to Ament. Gives it off again to Ament. Plenty of time to think about it. 9 seconds left on the shot clock. Still looking. Now tries to cut inside. Loses the ball. Rolls out of bounds. With about 4.5 seconds left on the shot clock. I'm noticing it too, as much as anybody else is. Using my eyesights here, Tennessee is playing sort of conservative now that they've maintained this lead. And, yeah, not a big fan of that, because if they get hot again and start shooting threes with pure efficiency, especially now that they've got nothing to lose, they're down by 19. Ball comes out of Nate Ament's hands there. He's not been having a great game. They're going to shoot up the 2, misses it, and I think Tennessee's calling for their first foul of the half. Yep. All right, well, yeah, I don't know what's going on with Nate Ament, but he is not having himself a good day. Gillespie right now is carrying the weight. So we've got some work to do in that department. Nate Ament can't come out in the next game and then just not exist, because he just keeps shitting the ball back to the other team. Red Hawks at the free throw line, makes the first one. Now it's down to 18. That's a start. I thought the ACC was good at basketball. Oh, they are, but that's never going to escape their fate. Always folding when it matters most. Redhawks missed the second free throw. And here's Tennessee back with the ball. Nate Ament's still in. I think, Nate Ament still has absolutely no points. He's like Ryan Williams in the playoffs. He just disappeared. Nobody's seen him in the postseason. Now he goes up. Ament's got it. Has a chance to score. He rolls in. Runs around. Goes to the other side. Still holding on the ball. 2 seconds left on the shot clock. Estrella goes for the 2. Gets it. Great play by Estrella. Now it's a 20-point lead. JP Estrella been doing okay with the assists. Yeah, it looks like right now Nate Ament is playing sort of like an assistant role rather than being the star. That belongs to Gillespie right now. Taking their sweet time, can't get past the Tennessee defense, shoots a contested 3, doesn't even make it close. Swings right past the rim, and it's going to be Tennessee ball. It's funny, Miami of Ohio is 4 of 15 on three-point attempts, and pretty much all of them were made in those first 2 minutes. And then they haven't done absolutely doo-doo since. Estrella tries to go for a layup, misses it. Now it's Miami of Ohio's ball. Misses the first man. Defense lined up a pretty good formation here. Tries to run in, shoots up the 2. Can't make it, right off the rim. They're going to go for a 3, and can't make that one either. Tennessee ball. Gillespie nearly trips on air. Rolls in, now rolls back out. Gives it off. They're going to use up all the shot clock. Maybe not. Now he tries to run in. Shits the ball away right back into the hands of Miami of Ohio. Got a free lane. Nope, turns it over. Right back into the hands of Gillespie. Steals the ball right back after he gets it stolen from him. Now the clock's right back to about 20 seconds on the shot clock. And we're just chewing away clock. And down by 20... That's a bad sign for the Redhawks. Now Ament's got it. Gives it off. Gives it back over to Gillespie. Tries to run in. Goes up for the layup. Misses it. Doesn't even get the chance to throw it. And he's pushed down. I think they're going to call the foul on Miami. I can't hear the whistles because I've got the TV muted, but Gillespie was looking for the foul there, and I don't think they're going to give it to him. But Tennessee does have ball. Now Gillespie shoots a 3. It's right off the goal. Doesn't even get close. And now we got 3 seconds left on the shot clock as Tennessee still got ball. No, now it's going to go over to Miami. Bruce Pearl, Auburn would have only lost by 10 to Tennessee. Yeah, I guess so. Bruce Pearl was he was big mad when Auburn was in the tournament. He was there watching, and he was losing his mind. He sounded like one of those drunk fans from the stands that everybody hates. Can't figure out what happened to him, but he was losing it. Still down by 20, 16-12 left to go. Miami Redhawks with the ball, throws up in the air. Another air ball and 3-point shot, another one missed. Looks like there was a push right there, and it looks like Miami's going to get fouled. Shout out to Tennessee for keeping Auburn out of the tournament. Basketball school, my ass. Did anybody actually think that Auburn was a basketball school? I mean, I guess in terms of like successful programs right now or successful teams, they had that one good year last year where they made the Final Four, and then just past that point, it just fell apart. With the ball, again, the Volunteers trying to do something here. Cuts in, Gillespie. Another dunk right there, and now the lead goes up to 22. Largest deficit this entire season for Miami of Ohio. Disastrous run right here. They're trying to do something here. Has an uncontested 3. And that'll cut the lead back down to 19. I'm not really sure what the defensive game plan was there, but we just let him get that one. Almost down to 15 minutes left to go. We're chewing away at this clock. It's getting to that point to where this could almost get uncompetitive. Sort of just depends on how Miami, Ohio responds to everything that's been happening. Throws up a 2 right there. I think a whistle's blown. Villanova and Utah State still going blow for blow right here. Wildcats still have the lead. Nope, never mind. Just lost it. Utah State hits a 2. Now they've got the lead by 1. Now it's truly a blow for blow situation. 61-60. Anybody's ball game in that one. This is gonna be one that I think is gonna come down to the absolute wire. Now Auburn gets to lose to school nobody ever heard of in basketball too. Hey, they could win the NIT. You never know. If they win the NIT, they can still claim themselves as a basketball school. We won a championship. Yeah, the way this looks, this might come down to a photo finish. There's still more than 10 minutes left in the game. But right now, both teams are playing their absolute hearts out. And one of those hearts are gonna get broken. Just the way it is at the end of the day. That's good stuff. How's my bracket? Besides BYU crapping the bed all over themselves, who I had, I think, making the Final Four. Again, I did the same. I made the same mistake with BYU last year too. For whatever reason, I just see them as this sneaky good team that's good enough to finally, have a run like that, and they just never have. Other than that, though, yeah, no, it's doing pretty good. Doing pretty good actually. Yeah, this game, I'm keeping my eye on this one because this one is a hell of a battle. Tied up now at 63 apiece. Both teams are just trading blows. It is as competitive as it can ever be. Big difference between the rest of these games that we're seeing. The rest of the games that we've seen today have just been sort of massacres. Wait a minute. Did I pick BYU? I did. I think I did pick BYU for the. Well, I picked BYU for the playoffs before they lost Jake Retzloff, so that doesn't count. That's Mickey Mouse. That does not count because when they lost Retzloff, I changed that. I retconned that, so it doesn't count. Therefore, I'm right. You're wrong. All right, here we go. Back in the game here. Other words, a dadgum massacre because Miami, Ohio looks absolutely lost right now. Trying to do something here. They're going to go up for another contested 3 right off the rim. Get the rebound, though. Now they're going to try running for a layup. Can't get that either. They just can't get anything going. Now here comes Tennessee rolling down. Gillespie's got it again. Runs in, thinks about it. Tosses it. Now Gillespie's got it again. Tries to run in, thinks about it, maintains the ball, now goes for a contested 3. Nailed it! Gillespie! Jacoby Gillespie. I don't know where he got this energy from, but he is coming in on some big dog status right now. Miami, Ohio, once again, lift another 3. They look lost when they're up against a competent defense, don't they? Gillespie for another 3. Almost got that one. On the rebound, though, they're going to go up for one, but it looks like Miami's going to get called for another foul. Yep. So it looks like Tennessee's going to go on the free throw line. 22-point deficit for Miami of Ohio with less than 15 minutes left to go. Safe to say the comeback is not happening, fellas. I don't think we're going to Tar Heel away this one. Tar Pit, I mean. Excuse me. We're not going to go to the free throw line. We're actually just going to go try to do something here. Another three. Can't make that one. Off the rim. And the ball goes out. Looks like it's going to be Tennessee ball, though. Is it still different leagues, not different conferences for basketball, too? Of course. That applies for every single sport.
Might as well be in different leagues, not conferences, different leagues.
Wait till it applies in baseball, too. Don't forget that. LSU won the Natty in baseball last year, so you should know that. It was cool seeing Coastal Carolina make it all the way there, though. That was fun. Another miss right there by Miami. They missed so bad the camera angle changed. Gives it back over to Gillespie. In other words, lord of this Tennessee team. And here's a Ament going up for a three. Or that's not a Ament. Excuse me. I forgot. He's missing from action. Oh, Gillespie came in with the steal. But the refs are saying not so much. I don't know what that was. That was a beautiful attempt, though. Well, one-handed grab. That was beautiful. Colby Gillespie means business today, fellas. All right, well, Redhawks, they're running out of time, even though they're basically screwed at this point. They're running out of time to actually do something. They're just doing whatever they can. They're going to just start shooting more threes, aren't they? Nope, they're going to run in for a layup. Thinks about it, now goes back. Saw about shooting the three, doesn't. Now tries to run in. They will go for a two. Whiffed on that one. Ran out of time. It's just not going well for him. What else can you say? So now it's Tennessee ball again. Another turnover. Hit the above average on turnovers today for Miami. They're just breaking all kinds of bad records. And there goes a big dunk right there. Dwayne Brown makes a dunk. Now Tennessee's hit 60 points. 24-point deficit for Miami. Obviously the biggest they've had in this entire season for them. And it's all going to hell right now. I mean, this is bad. I feel kind of bad. They're supposed to be a Cinderella squad. Remember how happy people were about this team not that long ago? They thought this team was a contender, right? Ay. Contender at my big old booty. Looks like Miami's called for another foul. And they are just missing all their shots, too. That's another thing. They cannot hit a shot anymore to save their lives. They just can't. They're missing everything. It's like literally watching them shoot for threes now is like watching Max Gilbert on field goals. Every time I'm just watching the worst whiffs of my entire lifetime. The one time we don't want Tennessee to win, they're actually doing it. This is, okay, first of all, shut up. This is not the one time you want Tennessee to lose. There has definitely, I promise you, there has definitely been more than one time where you wanted Tennessee to lose. Yeah, Cooper Flagg, he's having a really good year as a rookie, and I thought Duke was gonna miss him. But now they've got a brand new superstar freshman who's coming in and kicking ass too. So it just seems now like every single year. Shut up! I hate these embedded ESPN ads. But yeah, no, it just seems every single year now they're getting themselves yet another big time super contender. Cameron Boozer. You think he'll even stay here for a year before going on to the NBA? I have no idea. What I do know though is that he's kicking ass as of late. Any of y'all know how I can watch it for free? I don't know how you can watch the games for free. I mean, the best thing I can think of is just get YouTube TV, if that's even accessible over there. You're the reason that we root for Tennessee on nearly every occasion. Well, I appreciate it, but you'd be surprised how many people are actually actively rooting for Tennessee to lose so they can watch me crash out. What's this Wii stuff? Yeah, there you go. There you go. There's definitely some haters. There's absolutely some haters lurking. Even if they're not commenting or they are afraid to show themselves, there are certainly some haters waiting for Tennessee to blow it so I can crash out. Unfortunately, the haters are having a rough day today. It has not been a pleasant one for them. The French. Well, Miami, Ohio's got one thing in common with the French. They surrendered today. They absolutely surrendered. So now Tennessee's at the free throw line. Just to make the beating a little worse. Boswell hits the first one. Now it is a 25-point lead. They've got Gillespie on the bench now. Now they're going to just give the backup some experience. 62-36 as their new score after he hit the second one. It's now a 26-point lead in favor of the Vols. So now, past this point, all you can pretty much do is just chuck up threes and hope for the best. That's basically all you can do in this situation. There really isn't much else to it. Taking their sweet time doing so, though. The problem is they can't get open. Nobody can get open. This Tennessee defense is playing really, really good right now. Contested three. I say that, but they just had a contested three right there. Made that one 62-39. They've still got a long way to go, though. Going in for an easy shot. Brown trying to go in for the layup. And he got it. But looks like somebody going to get called for a foul. Villanova and Utah State still going blow for blow. Nova's got a 2-point lead here. But it's anybody's ball game at this point. And they're both consistently trading blows. This isn't like one team gets hot and then the other one goes. Like, they're both going, like, basically one team scores, the other one goes right afterwards. It's going to come down to the wire. That is going to be entertaining. Could go into overtime. Anyway, Redhawks at the free throw line. Makes the first one. Peter Suter's been basically carrying the entire load for this team. I wanted to play Georgia next year because I thought we would have revenge from this year. Come on, man. Stop. We're never beating Georgia. Ever. All right, well, here we go. Volunteers got the ball back. Miami makes both of their free throw shots. Boswell gets it. Now Brown passes it back. Basically, the bench is coming out on all those guys. Like, none of our starters are in. So we're just getting them some experience along the way. Throws it back. Kind of worried because you take Gillespie out of the equation, and this team kind of looks lost. Or more accurately, they look like they're on even footing with Miami because you take Gillespie back in, and he alone basically cooked this entire Miami Ohio squad. Still 73-71 here over in this Nova Utah State game. 5 minutes left to go. Anybody's ball game. Nobody knows what's getting ready to happen in that one. Meanwhile, over here, less than 10 to go. Trying to move in for the layup. Gets thrown down. That's going to force the foul. Tennessee's 4th foul. And their 3rd foul in the last, minute. They can't stop themselves from fouling. These two teams over here have basically switched roles. Because originally it was Villanova trying to come back down a deficit. Now it's Utah State down by 2. And while they are keeping up, they just cannot seem to get over the hump. They're either tying the ball game back up or they're just remaining down by 2. So Redhawks get 2 more free throws. Get those in, and now it's 62-43. 19-point lead for Tennessee still. However, the Redhawks are on a 7-0 run. Good turnover for Tennessee right there, but turns it right back over to them. And now they're going to try to go for the layup. Gets that one. 9-0 run. Now we're down, or now they're still down by 17, but they're at least trying to come back. Give credit where it's worth to them. Our bench warmers are having some serious trouble with this team. Now running in, gives it over to Estrella, and he makes the play. And there we go. That stops the bleeding. 19-point lead maintained. Now moving to motion. Tries to get yet another easy layup. Not able to. Goes up for the 3. Cannot make that one. And Tennessee will get the rebound. We got to keep them from just getting rebounds. Did Indiana sacrifice their basketball team for that natty? Probably. But then again, it's been a while since they've even had a basketball team worth anything, so what can we really say? Are we called for yet another foul? No, that's Miami on the foul. Okay, great. I was like, how many more fouls are we going to get called in this next minute? Because it just seems like we're just letting them just get constant free throw shots. Free throw. Nope. Got the layup though. I was watching on my phone. Some dude. I got a notice about a comment over on my main channel. I posted my video from the obstacle course in the slobs, and some dude was like, "Man, you're a grown man and you're doing this. You're a grown man and you're doing this. That's pathetic, man. You suck." The haters are coming out tonight. Oh, they got Gillespie back in. Misses the 3-point shot. Looks like he got it on the layup, though. Looks like 19's the magic number for us because that's how we basically for the entire game we've been leading for 19 points. And looks like somebody's going to burn a timeout. 7.5 minutes left to go. Yeah, this is not gonna lie. I expected this to be a little bit more competitive than it was. Once we hit 2030, let's all agree the best college football game of this century was Texas A&M LSU 2018. Not sure. I mean, it was definitely the most entertaining. I won't deny that, but the best? I don't know about that. Those are two completely different things. Usually grown men grow up from watching Tennessee and start watching G6 mid-major sports. Real men sports. Like hockey and volleyball. Man, so Jacoby Gillespie, 22 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists in that just the first half against Miami of Ohio. Pretty good. Pretty good. He plays like that the rest of the season, and Nate Ament gets off whatever milk carton he's standing on. We're going to be pretty good. We're going to be pretty set for our game against Virginia. But we got a lot of work to do, I think. Still a lot of work to be done. That game gave me heartburn. I wasn't even attending college at that point. Yeah, they're showing the recap here of this Villanova-Utah State game. 73 apiece now. 3 minutes to go. Utah State's at the free throw line after a foul. Villanova's 9th. That might be the thing that blows this game for them, is the fact that they're getting ref ball pushed firmly up their sphincters. All right, well, here we go. Miami of Ohio's got the ball back in their possession. Going up for a contested 3. Cannot make that one either. Again, that's part of the thing that's been killing them so bad this entire run, is that they have just not been able to make their threes at all past those. Like, it's like a Christmas miracle now whenever they make a 3. Because before they were making threes with perfect efficiency. Hell, Elmer's glue. That dude, Miami, Ohio, Elmer's glue. He's 0 for 7 on shots today. He's really having a rough time. I don't know if he plays like that in every game, but yeah, Elmer's glue. Big Dookie Stinky. We just made a 2-point shot, by the way. Back up by 21, but they respond with their own. Now it's back down to 19. That's the magic number, apparently. Don't forget that. All right, well, here we go. Gillespie back in for the Vols. We've got a bunch of bench warmers and then Gillespie back in just so that he can run his victory lap. Also, I mean, Estrella's in too. Now he throws up whatever the hell that was supposed to be. I don't know what that was. There wasn't a lot of time. There was 2 seconds left on the shot clock. There would have been enough time for at least for you to plant your feet. He literally went, "Oh, whoa!" Oh, I'm not really sure what that was. I mean, I guess since we're up by so much, might as well do the funny. Thank you. 6 minutes left to go. Gillespie with the ball again. Goes up for a layup. Gets it. We're up by... I lost track somewhere along the way. I know we're up by a lot of points. That's all I know. Miami misses another shot attempt. They just can't do anything. They keep going up for shots and they just keep whiffing them every time. Whistles are blowing, though. Tennessee's called for a foul. It looks like Miami's going to get some points on the free throw line. Yeah, I think it wouldn't have made a difference if Miami bothered to play another like a quad one team throughout their schedule. The only difference it would have made is that people wouldn't have been able to glaze them for going 31-0 or whatever it was. They wouldn't have been able to glaze them for that because they wouldn't have gone 31-0. They would have gotten this probably the same treatment they're getting here, if not worse. Like, imagine what would happen if they had to play somebody like Duke or Arizona midway through the season. Yeah, it would not have looked pretty. That's all I can really say about that. But they are getting some free throws in. Well, I say that, but he just missed one. So, there you go. There goes that. I'll definitely have some content when it comes to this basketball videos, especially this the Villanova Utah State game. Yeah, but Utah State suddenly pulled all the rocks out of their sphincters and ran away with it. They're up by 7 now with 2 minutes left to go. Villanova's gonna have to go on a run of their own, or else they're cooked. 5 minutes left to go. Just waiting for the timer to go down here. Estrella shoots whatever the heck that was, but it forces a foul. So that's a plus there. If Kirk Cignetti can get his second natty this year at Indiana, we're about to have some uncomfortable conversations. In regards to dynasty status, I'm not so sure. But it definitely would help them. It definitely would help said status. Won't deny that. All right, here comes the premier definition of exciting whites in the form of J.P. Estrella going up for some free throws. And missed the first one. Miami, Ohio realized they aren't built for this. They realized that after the first 5 minutes. This all got out of control when we went on that big run late in the first half. Past that point, it was basically over. But then, I mean, 19-point deficit. Some teams can come back from that. But only if you're from the Commonwealth, apparently. Uncontested 3 because our defense is completely out of position. Redhawks get the 2 off the layup. And it'll be 51-70 now. Again, 19's the magic number. They can't score. Every time they get up to where the deficit's only to 19 points, then we score again. Hey, look! And Elmer's glue finally made a shot. How about that? It only took him all the way up until the end of the game. Now Estrella goes for a layup. There we go. Leads back up to 21. You do know college men's basketball has less blowouts and the talent gap is smaller in college football, yet certain fans still have the college football mindset for some reason? Yes. Oh, that's a given. Duh. There's a way less blowouts in college basketball because the talent gap is way less significant. You're absolutely right about that. Plus, it's a whole different game. But yeah, you're not wrong. A lot of teams still have that mindset. The goal should be in every basketball game simply to win. If you don't look good doing it, so what? You get the next game to do just that. Tennessee makes a dunk. It's a 20-point lead now. Misses the 2-point shot. Now shoots a 3. Whiffs on that one. And Tennessee will get the turnover. Is Gillespie still in? Or do we put him back out on the bench? Nope, he's still in. I guess we're just going to leave him in permanently. I mean, because tonight he's been the guy. He's been the big dog tonight. He goes up for a 3, almost got it, and Estrella tries to get it on the rebound, not able to. And so, unfortunately, that'll turn into Miami of Ohio ball. The brights were too lights for the Hawks, for certain. I mean, I'm glad. For me, I didn't really have much of any sort of heartache today. Because that was my concern. I thought this was going to be a battle all the way up until the end, and I was going to be sitting here pacing around the entire room the entire time going, oh my God, the sky's falling. Rick Barnes sucks. It's a friggin' nightmare. And I was so worried about that. But no, doesn't look like that. Well, poor Villanova. This got away from him instantly. They were doing really good, going blow for blow with them, but then all of a sudden, they just forgot how to play basketball, and Utah State ran away with it. Now it's a 10-point deficit, and pending a big miracle, they're pretty much done for. Man, that's unfortunate. That's real tough. Man, and Villanova has like 100 fouls. And they're probably going to have way more before it's all said and done, because now they've got 48 seconds to erase a 9-point deficit. They're going to have to probably force some fouls. That's the only way. That's real tough. That's real tough. SMH shaking my head. It's not like Villanova's ceiling was all that high anyway. They're sitting there as an 8 seed. Who did I pick to win that game? Oh damn it! Yeah, I picked Villanova to win. Shit. Well, there goes that. There go that. Way to go, Villanova. Contributing absolutely nothing to anybody's bracket per the usual. Why am I not surprised? That is a dadgum shame. Hopefully the other Miami can follow suit tonight and lose like Miami of Ohio, because I picked Missouri to win that game later tonight, and that starts at later than 10 o'clock. Hope I don't pass out before that game's over. Hope it's very entertaining. Now it's time to get your ass kicked by Virginia. Yeah, I'm going into that game with absolutely zero expectations, because we might win, we might get spanked like we did against Houston and Purdue, or we might do a funny and pull out a win straight from our sphincters. Literally nothing is guaranteed. The funny could happen, I'm just saying. And then we could go and beat Kentucky in the Sweet 16. Anyway, yeah, this game's been long over. Now we're just running our victory lap. We just hit another 2. And it's a 22-point lead in favor of the Volunteers. All we can pretty much do now is finish out strong and just run away with it from there. Joel C., appreciate the 2, says, at least UGA got eliminated by a middle school. They sure did. They sure did. I actually just got a comment from a Georgia fan talking about how they have a Final Four and we don't. Yep, hang on to that Final Four from the frickin' before Christ ages. Really doing you some wonders, I bet. Oh, and there it is. I don't watch basketball. So predictable. It's not even a meme at this point. It's literally just reality. Georgia fans literally do not give a shit about basketball at all. It's funny because right now Georgia fans have been fighting with each other this entire day, because now what Georgia fans are saying is that if you're not a basketball fan, you're not a real Georgia fan. And so I'm watching Georgia football fans who don't give a rat's ass about any other sport sit there and try and say that they are real fans while other Georgia fans are saying they aren't. So I'm basically watching the fan police fight with other Georgia fans, and it is quite entertaining to watch them fight amongst each other and bicker like a bunch of crying children. It's quite comical, I will say that. I get a real kick out of it. Basically just running down the clock here, about 20-point deficit Miami's got to erase in, well, not 22 because we just hit another 2. So 22-point deficit in, well, less than a minute. Yeah. Good luck with that. And they're not even using their timeouts or anything or trying to force a foul. They know it's over. They've given up. So, yeah, womp womp. Sad face. Well, what's so funny about it is that they'll talk so much shit during basketball and baseball season when they win, and then when they lose, oh, well, I never even cared about basketball or baseball, so nothing you say affects me. Then what are you doing? It absolutely shameless. And they're like, why are you clowning on the Georgia fans? Because they're fake. They're fake fans. They literally said so themselves. Literally fair weather fans. Absolutely shameless behavior. "45 seconds left." We're basically doing just shits and giggles here, trying to wrap up this game. Gits and shiggles, I mean. My apologies. GG. Or are you a Miami of Ohio fan? Well, much appreciated. Sorry we had to spoil the fun of your phenomenal season, because this was a great season in Miami of Ohio. I mean, you would agree with that. 31-0 run, going undefeated in the regular season. I mean, I'd have to say that was a really good run for Miami of Ohio. It just so happens you ran into a buzzsaw. Hell, who knows? Tennessee might actually make a run this year. That's copium, but who knows? Anything can happen. Don't deny it until it actually happens. But yeah, now we can just run down the clock, and that's wraps. That's wraps, ladies and gentlemen. Here you go. All right. All right. I gotta put that on the soundboard somewhere. But yeah, GG's Miami, Ohio. Tough luck there. Thank you for giving us our first win of the tournament. I would say tough luck to you the rest of the way. But there's nothing left. You're not going anywhere after this. But you gave it your all. And, yeah. Now, you had a great season. Can't deny that. You had a really, really good season. Made the tournament. And for programs like this, that's an accomplishment. Most of the other teams in your conference are lucky to even make the NIT. So take from that what you will. But, Miami of Ohio, you can officially... Tough luck to you. But hey, congratulations on making it. We did it. We did not choke the 19-point lead. That is a big plus right there. We did not go and blow the 19-point lead. That is a big plus. At least Miami made the dance. At least you won't have to hear more rancid debates about whether they should be in or not. I mean, yes, you will. I'm sorry, that's not stopping you. You're gonna get your mentions the most saltiest Auburn fans of all time telling you that they would have put up a better fight if they were in. So it's just the way it is. Important things to consider for Georgia's L was 100-plus points put up on them, and B, 25-point deficit versus a mid-major. Ouchies. Ouchies, ouchies, ouchies. All right, I'll play Rocky Top. Where is it? Think this is the right one. Go away. All right. Yep, this is the right one. Feel pretty good about that. That was a good win. I put on my lights too. Switching back to orange. All right, well, Sunday's match is officially set. We've got Tennessee versus Virginia on Sunday. It's going to be a good battle. Hope we come out a winner in it, but again, I have no expectations. Who knows what this team can do, but I'm not, I ain't even going into this with any sort of expectations at all. None. Zero. Won't do it. Because if I put any expectations on this team next week or on Sunday, I'm just going to be mad when they lose, and I'm not going to do that. So. Good old Rocket Top. Woo! Rocket Top, Tennessee. All hail the talent fee. Hooray. All right, that's enough. Yeah, fun stuff there, though. Fun stuff. I'm glad we came out of at least the first round. Because, boy, it wouldn't have been too pleasant if we came out of that a loser. So, I'm glad about that. The run goes on. Glory be to the SEC. That's right, Alutron. Glory be thee to the SEC. Different leagues.
Might as well be in different leagues, not conferences, different leagues.
Not every team can hold on to a 19-point lead. Don't forget that. Very important to note. Well, most of our second round games are set. Florida's probably going to win. We're just waiting to see who they're going to play between Clemson and Iowa. Like I mentioned just before, we're playing Virginia. If we manage to survive that, we're going to be playing the winner of Kentucky versus Iowa State. Texas A&M going to go up against Houston. Winner of that will play the winner of VCU versus Illinois. Hopefully the Commonwealth goes on a big run there. Wouldn't that be funny? Arizona versus Utah State is set. That one is going to be on Sunday as well. Texas versus Gonzaga. That will be intriguing. UConn and Furman play late tonight. UCLA and UCF starts in about 30 minutes, roughly. Maybe a little bit more than that. Purdue and Queens starting right afterwards. What else we got going on? Starting shortly, Clemson, Iowa. I'll have to put that one on the screen. We got some games. We got some big games today. To win, you got to not lose. Can't forget that one either.
To win, you got to not lose.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. I win. Google me.
Wright State made a good run. We're beating Virginia in the first half. Yeah. No, if we can come out in the first half and just start beating them, if we can get a 25-point run, anything is possible. Just saying. Anything is absolutely possible. Man. Ain't that a something? I think... I don't know what happened to Nate Ament. He is supposed to be our biggest contributor tonight. He did absolutely jack diddly doodah squat. Maybe he's just waiting. I don't know. We'll see. We'll keep a check on that. Anyway, that was fun. That was the first time in a while I've seen a Tennessee team just kick the absolute shit out of our opponent, just mercilessly beat them into the ground until there was nothing left but dust. So that was pretty entertaining. Even if it was some sort of, even if it was a mid-major, who cares, MAC school, it still was important that we were going to move on. Not a lot of teams can say that they're going to do that. Iowa State goes Super Bowl even without Jefferson. Oh yeah, Iowa State looked really good today. They play like that the rest of the run, and it's gonna be tough for anybody to beat them. So if we manage to get past Virginia, I'm not confident we do against Iowa State. That one could be brutal. We could have a very, very hard time against them. But hey, at least you'll take down Kentucky along the way, right? I sure do hope so. So see, at this point, my bracket's gone to hell. So at this point, I'm literally just rooting for I'm just being a generational hater at this point. Nebraska, Iowa State. If this were basketball, or if this were baseball, I'd say High Point. But yeah, no, those two in particular. I just want Vandy and Kentucky to go ahead and get doo-dooed on for funsies. Furman, UConn, and yeah, knowing our luck, UConn and Furman's gonna be the one where it's like the one, you know, like really, really good team that comes out and craps all over themselves. But I don't know. I mean, this UConn team is obviously a whole lot better than the one from last year, and that UConn team they took Florida down to the wire before they went out a loser. So I'm pretty confident saying that UConn is going to probably do really good in this tournament. I don't know if they'll make it all the way to the Final Four or anything like that, but they'll have a good run going for them. But yeah, no big contenders, no big time contenders have really gone down yet. We have not seen that. Florida's still got to play tonight, so we'll see what that looks like. But it's Prairie View, so not holding on to any sort of imagination that they come out and just start running away with it. But was North Carolina the biggest bust or Wisconsin? Wisconsin, they were a higher seed, and they were in a bracket to where they absolutely could have gotten a lot. Yeah, they could have ran a lot longer than they actually did. Not to say that North Carolina didn't crap the bed too, especially since they blew a 19-point lead along the way. But yeah, Wisconsin had a pretty easy bracket, and they just blew it. They pissed it all away. Kansas to be the last upset of this round? I don't know. CA Baptist seems to me like a team that's just happy to be there, kind of like some of these other teams, you know, like the Long Islands, the Siennas. But yeah, I mean, anything's possible. That's why it's March Madness after all. Chaos is the only constant, ain't that right? That's all I can really say about it. That's all anybody can really say about it. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here now that the game's wrapped up. I've got some videos in the works. Obviously, I'm going to be making a March Madness video down the stretch. You won't see it until the end of the National Championship, but I'll be doing some work on that today. I've been making a Slob Olympics video that's going to go up on the main channel. You might want to go check that out. That's going to be pretty funny. Or at least I would think it's going to be funny because I did a good job embarrassing myself. And then I've got a couple of other football videos along the way. I'm doing a Gus Malzahn tribute video, another Gus Malzahn experience video. But there's plenty of other projects going on along the way. I got many more coaching videos. And then some other things along the way as well. So, little teaser into what you can expect for the future. Tardaria stream tomorrow. I'm going to be streaming every single day until, maybe Tuesday? I don't know. Probably I might be streaming nonstop this upcoming week. I might be streaming every day. Because, let's see, Sweet 16 is from the 26th or the 27th. Thursday and Friday. Man, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know what that'll look like, but yeah, I guess we'll keep an eye on that as it progresses. So yes, Tardaria Dynasty tomorrow. FBS report on Monday. Tennessee versus Virginia stream on Sunday. So I'll say that again. Tomorrow's Dynasty stream. Tardaria. We're going to do it as normal as we always done. Then, of course, Sunday, I'll be doing the Tennessee-Virginia stream. Did they announce the time for that yet? Or is it an unknown? Okay, I guess I'll do it 30 minutes before the game starts. So Tennessee, Virginia stream on Sunday, and then FBS report on Monday. So back to regular schedule. All right, guys. Well, y'all take care of yourselves this week. Enjoy the madness as it progresses. We only get one time to enjoy it throughout the week. So enjoy it. Until the next stream, I'll see y'all next time. Take care of yourselves. And, of course, as always, power to Tardaria. And we'll see y'all next time. And I'll give you some Rocky Top on the way out. Come on, turn on. There we go. Go Vols! I don't know how we pulled it off, but we did it. Your did it! Your did it! That's the part that counts, right? All right. Love y'all. See y'all tomorrow night at 7 o'clock for Tardaria. And y'all take care of yourselves. Power to Tardaria. Don't forget.
You might as well be in different leagues, not conferences, different leagues.
All right, guys, y'all take care. Love y'all. See you all tomorrow, 7 o'clock, as per the usual.